Welcome to Fort Worth, Texas. With the kickoff of Season 18 just hours away, the many organizations of the Simulation Football League are engaging in last-minute preparations. We have two such teams here tonight as Jacksonville visits the Fort Worth Toros, the Jacksonville Kings, clad in white on the sideline as you see there. We welcome you to this special presentation of preseason football of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. My name is Josh Zirkle, bringing you play-by-play for this evening's matchup. And joining me in the booth is my best friend in the whole world, Justin Reside. And Justin, the games count for real starting tomorrow, but tonight, it's all about showcasing individual talent. Is there a special player out here that you have your eyes on tonight?
I'm looking at these new rookies coming in, like on the Jacksonville side, Zachary Patton, and on the Fort Worth side, that'd be Charlie Baker tonight.
A great influx of talent. 88 players drafted in the Season 18 rookie draft, and I see more than half a dozen on each team here tonight. Who knows who we're going to get to see? Jason Williams is scheduled to start at halfback. We may see his understudy, J.Z. Bacon, tonight, the 87th overall pick. But the man we will see tonight was picked second overall, Johnny Reno, the quarterback for the Fort Worth Toros, scheduled to start on Monday to make his SFL debut. What are you looking forward to seeing from Johnny Reno, Justin?
I'm looking forward to see what he can bring from Tacoma here to Fort Worth tonight, here in this game before he makes his season debut out in Mexico City.
And we will see Johnny Reno sooner rather than later, as Fort Worth is going to get the ball to start this game. And they take the kick from their own goal line all the way up to the 25, and that is where we will get our first look at Johnny Reno. When you're starting an offense, especially in week one, Justin, you just really have no idea what's going to work, what plays are going to be available. As you're the general manager of the Las Vegas Fury, what are you expecting to see, not only from your team, but just the league as a whole, as these teams get ready to do battle in week one this weekend?
Just, what playbooks we have, what each team can do on the field every single quarter, from the first quarter to the last quarter. No matter what the score is, you just got to test out your playbooks and see what works and what doesn't work from this week into next week, heading into week two.
And Charlie Baker, right out of the gate, a huge catch down the right sideline with a huge gain, and that puts Fort Worth in plus territory. Already, the Toros are humming. Reno will deal again, and that is complete over the middle. Reno 2 for 2 here in the exhibition. That's Robert Garrett Jr., the tight end, a 6-year veteran, getting ready for his 6th year in the SFL. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, that was a good start, to get your Charlie Baker in first and then throw it to the tight end, Garrett Jr. there.
Reno under center this time. And is still going to throw here on 2nd and short. Take his pressure. Looks like he was hit as he's thrown it. And that was Taquan Hale applying the pressure there. It'll be 3rd down. Let's meet the rest of this Jacksonville Kings defense. On the defensive line, Mike All, Taquan Hale, Buster Johnson, and Forrest Dalton. The linebacking core, John Martin, J.R. Lawless, and Garrett Hudson. And in the secondary, Connor Darien, Terrence Pearson, Bernard Gooden, Greg Gaines, and the rookie, Stuart Zomelia, one of 4 rookies on this Jacksonville defense. 3rd and 3 now for the Toros. Short drop from Reno, and that is complete, and that's going to move the chains for Fort Worth. Reno and the boys driving here. Stephen Hacker, the literal Swiss Army knife, not only in the league offices, but on the field as well. And that's a fresh set of downs for the Toros.
Yeah, good start here for the Toros here, even though this is a preseason game. This is where you can make sure your quarterback and receivers are communicating, and that's catching the ball, and that's what Reno's doing perfectly here on this first drive.
5 defensive backs for Jacksonville. Reno will pump fake and dump it off to Jason Williams. And Williams carrying tacklers all the way out to the sticks. That's a gain of 9. Very impressive first touch for Jason Williams, the 8th-year legend.
Yeah,
2nd-and-1.
Yeah, 8 years in the league. Season 12 All-Star, 2 All-Star appearances. So this guy is good.
Out of the power eye this time. Twins to the top of your screen. It's Williams again. And Williams hit behind the line. That's going to be a TFL for Jacksonville. Garrett Hudson, the linebacker, able to get penetration and make the stop. And now it's 3rd and 2.
Hudson, the former Swarm player there, getting to Williams there and made a 3rd down and 2 for Fort Worth.
Fort Worth on the outskirts of the red zone. Be curious to see if they put their foot on the throttle here. They give it back to Williams. And Williams, once again, cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. This time it's number 92, Buster Johnson, making the play on the defensive line. Back-to-back TFLs for the Jacksonville defense. And it looks like we're going to see the field goal unit here for Fort Worth.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Amelia Rose, I believe, if I'm correct.
That is correct. The rookie out of Ottawa, picked 47th overall in the season 18 rookie draft. And her first effort of the evening will be from 40 yards out on the right hash. Spot is down. The kick is up. And just like that, Fort Worth is on the board first. A 40-yard field goal for Amelia Rose. It's 3-0.
Yeah, good start there by Fort Worth, trying to get their legs in this preseason game. Even though this is a preseason game, Fort Worth's got to make sure they can get their legs in because they got a tough Mexico City team starting week 1 on Monday.
Absolutely. Mexico City, a perennial playoff contender. And they look poised to make another deep run into the postseason here in season 18. A very tall order for a Fort Worth team looking to avenge, if you will, the disappointing season 17 as Jacksonville gets the kickoff out to the 26-yard line. And Marcus Dunhill, who will be entering his 6th season in the Simulation Football League, will take over on offense here for Jacksonville.
Yes, Dunhill has a lot of accolades. Obviously, 2-time All-Star. Last All-Star game he made was season 14, 6'5", 225. Second season with Jacksonville, six-year vet in the league.
Out of the pro set, it's Jared Willis, and Jared Willis taking contact at the line of scrimmage. J.L. Browning, among others, on the stop there for Fort Worth. It'll be 2nd and 8. Let's meet the offense for the Jacksonville Kings. The wide receivers, Zachary Patton, Grayson Willis, Kingston Ellington, and Shay Carroll. The tight ends, Jack Wall and Talon Steele. We'll do the rest after this play. 2nd and 8. Dunhill under center. Willis in the backfield all by his lonesome. Short drop over the middle, and that is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8. And the rest of this Jacksonville offense on the offensive line, Brian French, Alden Bleeker, and the lovely and talented Olivia Bleeker. And the quarterback is Marcus Dunhill. And 3rd and 8. When you're Fort Worth, Justin, you got to feel good about taking the ball down the field. Now your defense looking poised to get off the field here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, Fort Worth felt good. Now they hand it off to their off defense now, and now it's putting them on 3rd and 8, but never mind. Jacksonville's going to get it.
And the unleashing the dragon, and he's got a man deep. It's Grayson Willis, and he's going to walk all the way into the end zone. And Jacksonville strikes back. The first team to the promised land. And just when Fort Worth was feeling great, they give up a long touchdown to Grayson Willis at 6-3.
Yeah, nobody had Grayson Willis there. He just ran to the house. There was like two or three Toros there trying to catch him, but they couldn't catch him. So it's Jacksonville's got the touchdowner and now going to get a 4-point lead here early.
On a 3rd and 8, the Fort Worth defense had a chance to get off the field. And Marcus Dunhill, who enjoyed great protection on that throw, found Grayson Willis on the left side of the field for a deep strike. Jordan Bradshaw, another rookie kicker in this game, boots the extra point, and it's 7-3. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. In Fort Worth right now, looking to put a little extra juice on this kickoff return and getting this out to the 26, slightly better than their first effort. And Johnny Reno, who took his team down into scoring range, not quite to the red zone, will take over here on offense, Justin.
Yep, they take over offense. They just haven't. They had used all their offensive weapons except for Mike Twin Screw, the wide receiver they picked up from Louisiana.
And Twin Screw will be a nice addition here. As Reno under pressure, and he's going down. This Jacksonville defensive line looking fierce in the early going. It's Taquan Hale once again. It's going to be 2nd and long for Fort Worth.
Yeah, Taquan Hale there, getting off his offensive player to sack Reno. And I think Reno, Taquan Hale said, hey, welcome to the SFL, my friend.
There it is. Welcome to the SFL. And now Reno with 3 wide receivers. Only 5 men to protect up front. Has time to throw here. And had a man, but it looked like he was well covered. That was number 55, John Martin, the linebacker. Getting ready to start his 2nd year in the SFL. Playing some nice defense there. And 3rd and a country mile.
Yep. Second season with the team. 2nd overall season with Jacksonville. And that's a pretty good, re-signing for Jacksonville to bring him back.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. Reno out of the shotgun. Unleashes one over the middle, and looks like that is going to be caught. And that is Hacker again. Hacker in his 7th season, and Jacksonville just beside themselves as Fort Worth manages a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Jacksonville was looking to stop him, but the Swiss Army knife was there to catch the ball.
Hacker.
Wait. Was that an interception?
An interception. So I looked at the distance and saw that it was a first down for the 42. Did not realize that it was Jacksonville that had the ball and not Fort Worth. And now Marcus Dunhill will get back on the field and go into Jared Willis. It's preseason for us too, folks. 2nd and 9. And you see the numbers there for Dunhill already. Very early going in here in the preseason. Willis again up the middle. And he's going to be stopped there. 3rd and 9. Dunhill. With a very nice season, 17. 4th in yards. 6th in touchdowns with 24. And with only 31 interceptions, that sounds like a lot, but in the course of the SFL, you will see a lot of picks in this league, and perhaps in this game. Dunhill dealing to his left, and that is caught. And that is Zachary Patton. And Justin, how difficult is it for these rookie wide receivers? We have quite a few of them for each team in this game. How difficult is it for them to get worked into an offense where there's already been some folks who might actually be wanting to get more touches as the punt team comes out for Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's sometimes pretty hard for those wide receiver fours to get time on the field because you're going to have a lot of time, with your twin screws and your hackers being out there all the time, on every play. It's just rookies like Patton and Baker will get their time on the field. So, it's just time and reps. That's all they need to make sure they can get their feet on the ground in the SFL.
The punt for Jacksonville goes into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback, and now Johnny Reno will come back out on the field. As far as rookie wide receivers for Reno, Charlie Baker picked 79th overall. He has a catch already in this game. And we have 3 wide receivers out here for the Toros. And it's Williams that gets the call to the right side. Breaks 1 tackle, but cannot elude the second. That's John Martin again. And he looks ready for the regular season. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I think he's ready to go to Portland on Monday after this preseason game concludes.
All 24 SFL teams will be in action on Saturday and on Martin Luther King Day on Monday. Reno out from under center of the middle. That is caught. Short pass complete over the middle. Nickel and diming there. It's Baker again. And the youthful exuberance of Charlie Baker as he has his second catch of the game.
Yep, that championship pedigree out of Madison comes here to Fort Worth and already getting 2 catches in this preseason game.
Now 3rd and medium, interesting down and distance here. And we've seen a lot of this 20 personnel, 2 running backs, no tight ends. And Reno is going to throw over the middle again. An unusual comfort level for Reno there, and that is another completion. And this time it's Cade Stevens. Special teams ace. Also figures into the offensive side of the ball. His first catch of the game, and Fort Worth moves the chains.
Yep, 4th year on the team, 5th year in the league for Cade Stevens.
And now from the 30-yard line, Reno dealing to the left side. Williams able to make one defender miss, but once again, the second one comes through. And Jacksonville playing a nice swarming defense. That entire front seven, Justin, they're just flying to the ball tonight.
Yeah, they're just flying to the ball. If they can fly the ball against Fort Worth, they could fly to the ball for Portland on Monday if they keep this same defense going here in this preseason game.
Fort Worth went down the field to get a field goal on their first drive, had an interception on their second. Reno on a third drive here, completion and another first down. And despite the interception, Justin, we're seeing some real veteran throws out of the rookie there. That one to Robert Garrett Jr.
Yeah, Reno's been throwing a lot. Doesn't look like a rookie right now. He looks like a seasoned veteran right now, throwing these balls all over the place.
Garrett Jr., of course, two-time All-Star, ready to start his 6th season in the SFL, his 4th with Fort Worth. Reno over the middle again, and that is complete. A tremendous effort to split the defense there. And that is number 84, Mike Twinscrew, the ex-Rev, making his first catch of the night.
Yeah, Mike's Twinscrew finally getting this wide receiver catching, fight for Fort Worth, and now they get another first down out of it.
And now this time both tight ends in, Robert Garrett Jr. and also Austin Carpenter. And it's to Williams on the right side. And Williams, who has just been bottled up so far by the Jacksonville defense. This time it's Bernard Gooden and Stuart Zomelia, the strong safety, in on the stop. Zomelia, the first-round pick out of Annapolis. And these guys really made an impact already on and off the field.
Yeah, they all have made, these rookies have been really making an impact off the field, joining things like the stat team. That's what I like about the SFL. When you have these rookies coming into like the stats crew and other ways of media, this, it's like they're doing something off the field and then they compete on the field, like right now.
Williams out to the 27th, 3rd and 2. And Justin, you were just like that as well. It wasn't that long ago when I was calling your first game in SFLM and you had an interception in that game and you started doing stats and you made a name for yourself in the Discord chat. And look at you now. You're already the general manager of an SFL team. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. It's just not so much as getting your name out there, because I think that has a sort of vanity to it, but getting involved in the community. And I think this rookie class has done that as well as any that we've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, definitely. The rookie classes, Zomelia, like Zomelia and Derry Degon for Fort Worth. It's like, they're following in my footsteps kind of here.
45 yards out for Amelia Rose. And once again, she is money in the bank. Officially, it's 44. That said, it's still 3 more points for Fort Worth. They pull within 1 of Jacksonville, 7-6.
Yeah, good, good first 2 drives for Fort Worth. They just need to get, figure out to get a touchdown and, keep Rose's leg on the sideline and keep it warm till they need it.
Rose has 1 more kick before she goes back to the sideline to kick it off to Jacksonville. And this will get out to just inside the 10-yard line. And there's a shot there on special teams. You'd love to see that. As Terrence Pearson gets this out to the 25. And Dunhill and friends will take over there.
Yeah, you don't usually see rookies like Pearson returning kickoffs. You usually see the third wide receiver there returning kickoffs, but this is preseason. They're trying to figure things out before they, do this. They go to Portland on Monday.
Offset eye for Jacksonville. And Dunhill will deal to Willis. He's going to get a yard or 2, and then he is corralled by the linebacking core there. That's J.L. Browning. He's one of the players in this linebacking core. I think it's a solid unit for Fort Worth in general, but I think one of the things they do really well is they play the entire width of the field, east to west. You do not see a lot of yardage gained outside of the tackles on this linebacking core.
Yeah, you don't see that much with Fort Worth because they're in a tough Tex-Mex division with Lone Star and Mexico City and Houston as well. So they should know how to do things like that.
And this will be the end of the first quarter. Jacksonville finds the end zone first. And right now they're hanging on to a slim lead here at preseason action. So glad to have you with us. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. And Justin, as we get into the second quarter here, we'll talk a little bit more about your SFL journey. And you were a guy that took it upon yourself to get involved right away. And what was the impetus of that? A lot of people say it's just to get drafted, but I think for you, it might have been something more.
Yeah, it was just for me to get in more of the community involvement and get my name out there with more community members, and obviously get to know the community better, and not be like one of those guys that don't, kind of, go here and there and say, hey, I'll do, I don't want to do this. It's like, I came in the community to just be a part of it, be on the field, and be behind the scenes of everything.
Jared Willis around the left side. He's going to get a fresh set of downs for Jacksonville out to the 37. As we enter the second quarter, Willis once again up the field this time. And that's a nice gain on first down, 2nd and 5. The running backs, and we've talked about the rookie running backs and all, but for the veterans here, guys like Williams going into his 8th year, and Willis going into his 8th year as well. They're not the Robert Redfords or the Kevin Says, the perennial guys that are centerpieces of their offenses, so to speak. But these are durable workhorse guys that are going to get a lot of volume this year.
Yeah, they are going to get a lot of volume, early in the season and then later in the season. Because, once you get late in the season, you're fighting for playoff positions 1 through 12. So it's like, every game is a 1-0 situation for these guys.
Jack Wall, the tight end, his first catch of the evening is going to move the chains, and that will put Jacksonville in plus territory. They line up on the Fort Worth 49-yard line. 9.5 to play here in the first half. Dunhill, 5-step drop. Throws the 5 and out, looking for Willis again. And Willis well covered there by number 24, Adam Leach. Entering his 3rd year of SFL ball. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, well, Willis is one of the, it's like Leach is one of those guys he was in one All-Star game, by the way, season 16. So he knows how to play SFL football here for Fort Worth.
5 interceptions last season for Leach. 2 of those he took back to the house. Dunhill deals again, and that is complete and making a defender miss. On their way to the sticks is Talent Steele, number 85. 25 catches last season for Steele. And this Jacksonville offense, a lot of weapons, Justin.
Yeah, a lot of weapons. You got 4 wide receivers, your two tight ends, and Willis, your running back. That's a lot of weapons you can throw for Dunhill to throw to during the season.
Dunhill over the middle this time. And that is caught, and that's another first down for Jacksonville. Marcus Dunhill, nickel and diming this Fort Worth defense to death. And it's a fresh set of downs for the Kings.
Yes, yeah, fresh set of downs. And, it's Jacksonville wants to improve on their season record of 9-3 from last year. And, they were the bottom of the Atlantic, and they want to prove to the Atlantic Division that they're no slouch up in that division.
There were a lot of good teams that had disappointing records last year. You could put Fort Worth in that category as well. And I think the SFL has just gotten so competitive. The games are closer than ever. And I think that the margins for victory are razor thin. And now with 24 teams and deeper rosters, I think that's going to be exacerbated even more. Dunhill throwing to his left this time. That's caught again. And Jacksonville's inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Kings.
Yeah, great job there by Marcus Dunhill to find Willis there in the, on the far sideline, because, that's what you do in preseason. You got to make sure you're You know the field because you haven't been. Teams like Jacksonville haven't been on the field for months since season 17. So you got to get used to that, infield competition.
Fred Foreman, the fullback, checks in, paving the way for Jared Willis, but he is stopped behind the line again. It'll be 2nd and goal, and that is Jeff Duffy entering his 2nd season in the Fort Worth Navy and Gold. Going to be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, this Fort Worth team is tough, but Jacksonville is proving in this preseason game that they're week 1 ready almost.
4 wide receiving here on 2nd and goal for Jacksonville. Going to be Willis around the left side. Interesting decision there, as they ran right into the heart of the defensive secondary coverage there. And that's Frank Bernstein, another rookie. 62nd pick overall, making a play there, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that another, by the way, Tacoma, I think he was another former Tacoma player. So
I believe that's right. Dunhill on 3rd and goal, throwing to his right, and that is caught, but it's short of the end zone. Is Kingston Ellington, I believe his first catch of the evening. And Ellington really did not have a lot to work with in terms of where that ball was thrown. Probably needed another 3 or 4 yards of sideline to be able to turn upfield. And I think Jordan Bradshaw will take the field here to try a short field goal.
Yeah. Bradshaw, while he was in Salt Lake City, was pretty successful on his kicks, but there was a few that he would have wanted back in the SFLM season 4.
And of course, the standard for kicking in this league so high, so many kickers. Sometimes as many as 6 or 7 kickers go over the course of the season and do not miss at all. And Bradshaw does not miss there from 20 yards out. And that will extend the Jacksonville League 10-6 Monday on Next Level Sports. The Simulation Football League has another doubleheader of football action to kick off the league's 18th season. First, Florida visits San Diego, 2 teams that have plenty to prove, before Jacksonville faces Portland for the first time. It's a celebration of the SFL's diversity, honoring the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Coverage starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. As Kate Stevens gets us out to the 26th, Justin.
Yeah, I was going back to the San Diego, Florida game for just a second. I was surprised when the schedules came out that Optimus Klein is facing his old team in San Diego, which is, I think he said it in a couple of times in the general chat that he wishes it was back in Florida.
Would have been a nice homecoming for him for sure. Johnny Reno dealing on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Nice coverage there by the Jacksonville secondary. And the legacy of Klein is a really interesting one, especially in San Diego, who struggled, obviously, did not win in season 16. But then in season 17, won 3 of their last 4. And they were hanging in there against some tough teams as well, and had the opportunity to even spoil the playoff opportunities of some better teams. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to be able to do against a perennial contender like Florida. 2nd and 10, Reno dealing to his left with Jason Williams. And Williams breaks a tackle, gets a 1st down, and has a lane. Can he get one more block? He does. To the 20, the 10, touchdown, Jason Williams. An inspiring catch and run. You think he's ready for the regular season? And Fort Worth takes the lead.
Yeah, I thought he was running to Stadio Azteca already, going to that end zone. Oh my goodness.
I thought he was dead in the water about 3 different times on that play, but made a defender miss, got a big block, and just like that, he was gone. And just like that, Fort Worth, for the first time this evening, has the lead over Jacksonville as Amelia Rose lines up the extra point. It's always exciting to see big plays happening in football. And unlike some other preseason games, it looks like both teams are using both of their starting squads on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball.
Yeah, this is pretty obvious for, sometimes if you're in like a 3rd or 2nd preseason game to bring in your extra guys, but I'm guessing they want to use their starters before Forward heads to Mexico City and Jacksonville heads to Portland.
You can never be too sure once you're getting into the regular season. Now Jacksonville will get this out to the 30-yard line. The best return for either team on the evening. And Jacksonville will have just under 6 minutes to work with before the intermission.
Yeah, it's like, it's this is a preseason game. You want to work in your other players, but it's when it comes down to the real thing on starting Saturday. It's it's always what do you get out of your team once once that kickoff becomes real in week 1.
Willis trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. The pair of Fort Worth defenders bringing him down, including number 95, Jabril Curse. And one more point on that, Justin, is that we are so close to the regular season. And obviously both of these teams playing on Monday. And almost at the same time, as a matter of fact. That you really can't deviate from what might be your game day routine. You've really got to approach this as a legitimate regular season contest. At least get into the motion of doing that sort of thing, because it's too close to take any sort of relaxed posture toward it when in just a couple days' time, you're going to be stepping on the field for real.
Yeah, you're going to be stepping off that plane, and once that ball kicks off, you're going to be playing the real game.
3rd and 6, empty set for Dunhill, throwing down the field, and that is incomplete. Intended for Grayson Willis, who was well covered on that play, and it's a 3 and out for Jacksonville.
Yeah, great defense there by Fort Worth. Looked like a pass interference, but I guess R62 said, no, we're good.
A little bit of bang as Howard McCoy will come out for his second punt of the evening. The first one went to the end zone. I'll be very impressed if he does that here, standing at his own 18-yard line. No pressure from Fort Worth. Kick is away. And Stevens waiting at his own 33. Will get out to the 39. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Johnny Reno hands off to Jason Williams, and Williams dragged down. They're going to call it no gain. Let's meet the Fort Worth Toros offense. The wide receivers are Cade Stevens, Charlie Baker, Mike Twinscrew, and Stephen Hacker. The tight end is Robert Garrett Jr. At fullback, Aaron Alexander. At the backup halfback, Jay-Z Bacon. The starting halfback, Jason Williams. And a quarterback, the rookie, Johnny Reno. Again, taken 2nd overall in the season 18 rookie draft, and he will throw here on 2nd and 10. Hit as he's thrown, and that is incomplete. Taquan Hale on the pressure, 3rd and 10.
Yeah. This Jacksonville defense have been really putting the pressure on Fort Worth. Like a thinking that, they're trying to figure out their defensive schemes and making sure they got man-to-man coverage perfectly before the game on Monday.
4 wide receivers for the Toros. Reno in the shotgun. They have not been bashful about letting Reno run most of the offense here, especially through the air. Throwing over the middle now. What a catch there! A leaping grab by the Fort Worth receiver. And just like that, Fort Worth in plus territory. Mike Twinscrew going up, and away to make the grab.
Yeah, wow. I don't know if that was a tight winner or just Mike Twinscrew there just jumping for that ball there. Like he wanted it so bad.
He made quite an adjustment on the ball and put it, and give credit to Reno for putting it where Twinscrew could make that adjustment. Now Alexander checks back in at fullback. Reno again dealing to the left side this time, and it's Twinscrew on back-to-back receptions. And Twinscrew, who had a nice season last year at Louisiana. 39 catches, 354 yards and a touchdown. Obviously looking to get a little bit more volume in an offense, albeit with a rookie quarterback. 2nd and 4 here. There's both tight ends in the game now for Fort Worth. Austin Carpenter, the backup, will get in there. And Williams very close. They're actually going to give him the first down there, Justin. And they're out to the Jacksonville 30.
Yeah, great. No, that was just, ref making sure that his knee was down across the first down marker, and he was. So first down Fort Worth here.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. I really have no clue when the runner is that close to the line. Sometimes I think he gets it when he doesn't have it. And the reverse is also true. But Williams has it there, and it's a fresh set of downs. So Williams has another first down there. We're getting some space on the left side of the field on the catch and run. And those flare passes seem to be working very well for Fort Worth tonight. Fort Worth is into the red zone.
Yeah, these flare passes have been working. One for the touchdown and this one right here for the first down. I'm guessing they wanted to use it in this preseason game. Maybe they'll use it in the regular season. Who knows? And
really, this is a nice 4-minute offensive drive by Reno as the clock ticks under 3 minutes. And now Reno throwing there. And a little confusion there by the receiver as he ran back toward the offensive line. I think that's Cade Stevens. And Stevens probably trying to elude tackle or perhaps an offensive bonus in his contract. Not sure what to make of that. 2nd and 12.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that either. It's like, Cade Stevens, you're a veteran. You're in a preseason game. What are you doing that for?
And he didn't get any forward progress either. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the catch. And Williams, there's that flare pass again, making a defender miss. And getting back some of that yardage. But it's still going to be a 3rd and long here at the Jacksonville 15 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Fort Worth leading at home and looking to add to that. 13-10. You're watching the SFL preseason presented by APM Music on YouTube. So glad to have you with us. Josh Circle, Justin Reeside in the analyst booth, Stephen Hacker, literally a Swiss Army knife off the field producing. We're so glad to have you with us here on the eve of the SFL kickoff of season 18 as Johnny Reno throws into the end zone, and look who's got that touchdown. But our jack of all trades, Stephen Hacker, and Fort Worth extends their lead.
Yeah. Reno was looking for the Hacker, and he found the Hacker in the middle of the end zone there of Jacksonville's. I guess that was a zone defense, and Reno found that hole and found Hacker.
Hacker, 61 catches last year, 3 touchdowns, 101 targets, was 24th in the SFL in that stat category. Almost led all receivers except for Robert Garrett Jr., who had one better, 62 catches. And the extra point from Rose is good. And it's a 10-point lead for the Toros.
Yeah, 10-point lead. They're feeling good. Fort Worth is, and just Jacksonville is just trying to get back in that groove of being in a preseason fight early on.
It is exciting. It's never too early to fight, is it, Justin?
Yep, never too early, even in the preseason.
Rose will kick this off. And Jacksonville will get this out to the 28 with 1:53 remaining here. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. And now Jared Willis getting loose on the left side a little bit. You see the numbers for him there. And one of his more prosperous runs of the night, gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, 2nd and, that Jacksonville didn't want to go into a 2-minute offense, so they just want to huddle up and let the clock run slowly.
Not a lot of urgency here. 2 tight end set for Jacksonville. Willis in the backfield by his lonesome. But Dunhill will throw here, but it is to Willis. And Willis, with a head of steam, will get another first down. And why not? Jacksonville's going to hurry it up.
Yeah, now they're going to the rapid speed offense.
And Fort Worth caught in this base look, not exactly equipped to defend the pass as Dunhill continues to throw. Only a modest gain there, but Jacksonville's going to line it back up. Less than a minute to play now.
Yep. Fort Worth trying to set it up, but Jacksonville is just getting quick on those.
Nearly intercepted that time. Tremendous athleticism by the defensive back. That's Adam Leach, the third-year pro. And it's going to be 3rd and 7. And that will stop the clock, Justin, with 46 seconds.
Yeah, now Jacksonville has to go back on the huddle and figure out another play on a 3rd down and 7.
.46 seconds remaining in the half. Dunhill will throw to his right this time. And that is caught again. That is Kingston Ellington. And the clock will run. It's going to be 4th and 3. And there will be a little bit of a differential. I think Jacksonville's going to have to punt this away.
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah, I would. Punting this ball away is better than going for it on 4th and 3, because sometimes on 4th down, defenses in the SFL can stop you.
And obviously, you want to take your sweet time here. It's Howard McCoy in no rush to boot this one off. We see the play clock down to 5 now. And then with 2 seconds on the play clock, McCoy does boot it away. Out to Stevens, so fair catch, and that is going to end the first half. Fort Worth getting some productivity, not only from their rookie kicker, Amelia Rose, but also from Jason Williams and Stephen Hacker and the rookie Johnny Reno. 2 touchdown passes already. The Toros leading Jacksonville 20-10. Justin Reside, your thoughts on the first half?
That was a pretty good first half for both teams here in this preseason matchup, because you're getting your plays in perfectly. The wide receivers and running backs are getting their reps like they should, and always in a preseason game you have to have your reps in before going on the road your separate ways before tomorrow's week 1 starts.
Just like the Journey song, right?
Yep.
As we said, the regular season does start tomorrow. Let's go over some of the teams that are playing Saturday, that being tomorrow, January 15th at 12:30. It's London facing Baltimore. An outstanding matchup that's going to be, Justin. We got to talk about that in a minute. Los Angeles heading to Charleston. Arizona is going to face Tulsa at Douglas Brown, the first overall rookie selected in that season 18 draft. We'll see him make his debut. Sioux Falls will go to Louisiana. Vancouver will play in Carolina. Nothing could be finer there. And then your Las Vegas Fury are going to host St. Louis in the nightcap. What a great slate that's going to be. We got to talk about London heading to Baltimore. The only game that Baltimore lost last season on their way to the season 17 championship was against London and Johnny Pickler. And do you think that the Knights are going to be able to do it again?
I wouldn't think so, because the Vultures are looking for that, that revenge game that they want back from London. Because when you lose a game like that, the last game of the season, you're trying to go 12-0. That's just, and London beats you. That just, circle that date on the calendar the next season, because that's a revenge game you want.
And it was a significant game for London as well. Not just playing spoiler, they needed that game to get into the playoffs at 6-6. And managed to do so. And I was just really impressed with not only Johnny Pickler's play over the course of that season, but also the job that Chad Rowland did in assembling that team on the way to that season. Not only getting Pickler, but also Mike St. Green, and making a slew of other savvy moves and getting London in the conversation as one of the more reputable franchises in the SFL, as we see Amelia Rose set to kick off to Jacksonville to start the second half. So glad to have you here on a preseason Friday on the eve of the season 18 kickoff of the Simulation Football League. And Jacksonville is going to get this out to the 27-yard line. And that, again, is Terrence Pearson, the rookie, 64th overall selection, taken by Ottawa. He plays cornerback for this team, but does some special teams too.
Yeah, that is like a good way. Even though you didn't have punt returns to kicking in Ottawa, you get reps of that in that section for the SFL.
Marcus Dunhill under center. He's going to throw on first down to the right side. Willis manages to shrug one defender and still turning the legs and getting forward. That's Fred Foreman, the fullback. Does not see a lot of playing time, but my goodness, did he make the most of it there?
Yeah, he made a good chunk of yardage there to get 5 yards. Even though fullbacks are Sometimes, not all the time, they're in the plays, but when fullbacks are in the game, they good. They're good to get in a draft or when you get free agency next season.
Dunhill over the middle. That is complete, and that is another first down for the Kings. Tremendous grab there by Jack Wall. Jack Wall entering his 5th season. First 4 all with Jacksonville. And he's been a special player to watch as well.
Yeah, he has been. He's been in this league a long time. That tight end number 1 always in Jacksonville. And he always catches the ball like that last one.
Dunhill over the middle again. And that one is going to be incomplete. Intended for Grayson Willis. Willis, a very tall order, trying to come up with that ball. And that's going to make it 2nd and 10. And Justin, I once again refer to your duties as the general manager of the Las Vegas Fury. And with your team playing tomorrow night, are you excited? Are you nervous? What's going through that sweet little brain of yours right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of, a little bit excited, even though I'm playing, a fellow friend of mine across the bridge over, real life we're across the bridge, but he's on St. Louis, so it's like going to be a tough one. It's going to be a little bit of a battle of our towns, that game coming up between St. Louis and Las Vegas.
And who is that? Who is your friend there?
Guy Clausen, the tight end.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fantastic. And I think it's going to be a fun game, and I'm excited to see what both of those teams do this season. Obviously, St. Louis had a fair amount of success last year. I believe they went 6-6. And still have some tremendous pieces coming forth. Finally, some stability in the quarterback situation. And I think that is a franchise definitely that's trending upwards, as well as your Las Vegas Fury, for that matter.
Yeah, we have a second-year quarterback in Joe Green. We got him back. We didn't have to go into this year's draft getting another quarterback. And then we got a lot of 2 rookie tight ends, which, should help in the running game with Scott Johnson.
And Jacksonville set the punt here. Back to Fort Worth. Punt is away. No pressure there for Fort Worth. Stevens is going to get dropped at the 20-yard line. And that is where the Toros offense will take over. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday, January 22nd. We're already looking ahead. The London Knights will meet the Lone Star Glory across the pond at the UK home opener at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Then it's a battle in the air as the Carolina Skyhawks meet the San Diego Mavericks at 2:45 p.m. Eastern. Bonus coverage includes Tulsa at Las Vegas and LA at Vancouver. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. And Williams looking for some area there. Can't find any. It's a TFL for Jacksonville, 2nd and 11.
Yeah, you mentioned that Las Vegas Tulsa game. That's my old team coming to my new house out there at Silver State Stadium. So
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but how do you like where things are going at Tulsa? Douglas Brown, who I thought was absolutely tremendous, and I could not believe he didn't get drafted a season ago. And he's got to be loving as much as anybody to go first overall and to have an extra year of development before he finally becomes the guy who should be probably a little too blunt to resurrect that Tulsa franchise that only won 2 games last year.
Yeah, that should be good for Tulsa because, winning, when you're on a team that won 2 games and lost a whole bunch, that just, you just got to say, I'm not, we got to switch it up. And Doug Brown perfectly does that for them.
Oh, by the way, Kate Stevens made an amazing catch and run to get down to the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. As we're sitting here talking about other teams not playing in the game we're in right now. But it's not every day you get to sit down with a general manager of an SFL team and just pick his brain about everything happening in the league. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot to be excited about, a lot to look forward to. The games on Monday. We're going to have games on Monday afternoon. Our game, you and I are going to call a game on Monday, Houston facing DC. And those are a couple of teams that have some new pieces as well. Brad Jones taking the reins for Houston there as Fort Worth gets down to the 2. Robert Garrett Jr. making that catch. But I'm looking forward to our game as well. And those are 2 other teams that have a lot of talent that maybe not reflected in their win-loss record from a season ago.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I can't wait to see finally get a game to call one of my old scouts out there in the SFL, Kevin Say, for the first time.
And Kevin Say, just a huge part of that offense. Sometimes 2/3 of that offense runs through Kevin Say, not only on the ground, but through the air. And speaking of going through the air, Amelia Rose's field goal. Or is that an extra point?
Yeah, that was an extra point. They got the touchdown.
Well, it's preseason for us too, folks.
Yeah, it's preseason for everybody. Broadcasters, GMs, and owners.
Fort Worth leads 27-10 now, 8:01 remaining in the third quarter. And Jacksonville's getting another crack at this thing. Fort Worth's got to be feeling really good. This is actually their second preseason game. Jacksonville didn't look like they were going to have a preseason game. But an effort was made to reach out to Jacksonville and get this contest scheduled. And depending on what your game plan was coming into this, it's probably a good thing to get a look at some of the things happening to your team right now, not only for Fort Worth, but for Jacksonville as well, as Marcus Dunhill will start first and 10 in the shotgun. And they run the draw to Willis. Willis very close to breaking that. It's going to be a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good play there for Jacksonville. That's just a perfect toss and run, toss and run for Willis. Simple veteran presence always for Jacksonville.
Dunhill, empty back, empty set formation, 0 running backs in the game. We'll throw over the middle again. And that is a ridiculous catch. How did he manage to hang on to that ball? Holy smokes, Zachary Patton, the rookie, taking a shot as he brought that pass in. But a tremendous play, and it's going to move the chains for Jacksonville.
Yeah, when I saw him catch that ball, I thought he was back at Lexington for a second there.
Jacksonville 4th in the league last season in terms of passing yards. And there are some more passing yards there. Another first down for Jacksonville as they connect on the slant. And that is Shay Carroll, number 88. Shay, who had some flashes of brilliance in this Jacksonville offense last season. I called more than one Jacksonville game. 909 yards on just 63 catches. His 14.4, good for 20th on the SFL leaderboard in terms of yards per catch. And Jacksonville will line up and do it again here. Willis out of the power I. And that's a nice gain on first down. 2nd and 4 with just over 6 to play here in the third.
Yeah. This Jacksonville team has been very different than what last season's Jacksonville team was last year. Different seasons, teams change and grow. And this Jacksonville team has definitely grown here in this preseason game.
Absolutely. 4 wideouts now for Dunhill under center. 4-man rush for Fort Worth. Dunhill hits, he's thrown, and the pass is complete over the middle. Dunhill certainly paid the price for that. Kingston Ellington does not let him down, brings it down at the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Kings.
Yeah, I believe that was a tight window for Dunhill to throw there to Ellington on that play.
And he got blasted for his efforts the second he let go of the ball. They're going to stay in this one-back set. Willis in by his lonesome. 2 tight ends to his right. Willis up the middle, down to the 3. The Fort Worth front 4 refusing to yield. Willis slow to get up. You see the numbers there, 40 yards on 15 carries. It's been a tough row to hoe for this Jacksonville run game.
Yeah, very tough for Jacksonville, trying to make sure their running game is perfect in this preseason game before heading back on the plane to Jacksonville and then heading back out on their plane to Portland on Monday.
Willis hitting the backfield that time. Just a swarming defense from Fort Worth. That's number 98, Paul Wall. Backup defensive tackle coming up with a stop there. As maybe we're seeing some of the substitutes come in into this game. 3rd and goal now for Jacksonville. Short drop for Dunhill. Going to the end zone. Deflected and nearly picked off. A slew of Fort Worth defenders playing volleyball with that one. They could not bring it in. Here comes Jordan Bradshaw.
Yeah. That was just, if it was an actual volleyball game, Fort Worth would have had a spike on that one.
I would think so. Bradshaw, who connected from 20 yards earlier, being brought along gradually here. This will be a 21-yard attempt. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy. And it's a 14-point game.
Yeah. 14 points, This is the kind of game you want to be in. 14 points, not a big blowout games like you see with the Vancouver or maybe even Mexico City.
Well, we have a second. Let's run through the slate on Monday. These are the games being played on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Florida is going to San Diego, as we mentioned earlier. Houston will play D.C. in the nation's capital. Justin and I will be delivering that game to you, the play-by-play at least. Jacksonville, who we're watching here, is going to Portland. Going to play on the West Coast. Atlanta, heading to Denver. Should be an interesting matchup. Mexico City will be in this stadium 3 nights from now to face Fort Worth. Yeah, Queen City and Lone Star round out the Monday slate. A whole lot going on this Saturday and Monday in the Simulation Football League as Season 18 is going to get underway with a bang. There's Stuart Zomelia, one of the many rookies playing in this game. 6, 7, perhaps 8, depending on whether or not Jay-Z Bacon makes his way onto the field. You don't see a lot of backup running backs, and that is going to be an interesting thing with the rosters expanding and some of the fatigue issues that some teams have had, Justin. Not a lot of teams went with backup running backs. Only 2 did. How do you expect, and maybe expect is the wrong word, but what will you be watching as we see some of these fatigue algorithms unfold on the field for the very first time this season?
I'm gonna, it's like I'm gonna see if these, backup running backs like Bacon and Squirtbush can carry the rest of the loads on these games. Carry Fort Worth and Louisiana on their backs during the game, so they can let Williams and Colin Hart rest for a while, and they can get their runs in and get some, maybe get some touchdowns and some pretty good yardage in these games coming up in the next few weeks.
And a bit of a contrast there between those two as Squarebush spent 3 complete seasons in SFLM, the minor leagues, and he was another surprise not being drafted in the season 17 draft. Meanwhile, Bacon joined San Jose in mid-season, and I think was only on the team for 4 weeks before Fort Worth decided to take a flyer on him with the 87th pick. And their offense was set and their defense was set. And they said, he seems like a swell fellow. Why not bring him into the fold? It remains to be seen if Bacon will see the field tonight at all. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled for that. 1st and 10 now for Fort Worth. And Williams making a nice move, and Williams might get loose. And that is another big reason why you may not see Bacon, is Jason Williams just tearing up this Jacksonville defense. A tremendous run there. And Fort Worth on the cusp of reaching the red zone once again.
Yeah, Williams is just tearing this Jacksonville Kings defense left and right. He's going north, south, east, west, whatever direction he runs, he can't be stopped.
Reno throwing on 1st and 10 finds Williams right in the breadbasket, but he'll barely get back to the line of scrimmage. You see the numbers there for Williams, 96 yards on just 5 passes, and obviously the touchdown on a very impressive catch and run in the first half. Williams is a guy who, when I watched him play last season, was just so close so many times to breaking big plays. And I wonder if this is going to be the season where he does break most of those plays. As he gets around the right side again, a little spin move there, trying to avoid capture. Gets down to the 17, officially in the red zone now. A 3rd and medium here for the Toros.
Yeah, 3rd and mediums are your important plays here, and even in the preseason, you have to get these perfect 30 medium plays in, because because when Fort Worth gets Mexico City here at the Stockyards, and you have a 3rd and medium, and it's a tough Mexico City defense, you're not going to probably get through it unless you can find the perfect play.
Arian Alexander checks in, and that ball incomplete off the hands. Actually, I'm not even sure that got to the hands of Mike Twin Screw. And we see Amelia Rose there jogging back onto the field to attempt what I would have as her 3rd field goal attempt of the day. She was successful on her first 2. This would be a 34-yard attempt. As Ray Einhorn, the punter, will put down the ball. And Rose boots it through for 33 yards. And now it is officially a 3-score lead for the Toros. They lead 30-13.
Yeah, 3-score game. This is, what you want to see out of Fort Worth in a preseason situation before they play Mexico City, because you don't want these, top hard-nosed defense, a pretty good Fort Worth defense here tonight, going to the game against Mexico City and not being so good against Matt Wilson and that very powerful Mexico City offense.
And powerful is the perfect word. They are just ridiculously talented in terms of everything that they do. The passing game, Matt Wilson, if he's not the most decorated quarterback in the SFL, he is gosh darn close. And it's just a guy and really a franchise that does not seem to have a lot of missteps in the regular season. And really, it's just a question of, can they bring their A game to the postseason? And Florida looked good last season. Baltimore was great last season. And there's no indication that those teams are going to slow down. So if you're a team like Fort Worth or a team like Jacksonville and you're looking to improve, you really just have to do everything that you can to put the very best team on the field that you can. Dunhill to Willis. Willis a little bit of space before being popped by E.K. Vinson. I've not called Mr. Vinson's name so far, entering his 9th season, 3rd and 5. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Fort Worth up big. We're having a good time here, folks. Stick around. Your last night for preseason football. Don't miss it. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Josh Circle, Justin Reside in the booth. Stephen Hacker producing. So glad to have you with us. Jacksonville had the first touchdown of this game to get a 7-3 lead, and since then it has been mostly Fort Worth. Johnny Reno, the rookie quarterback for the Toros, 2 touchdowns so far to Jason Williams and Stephen Hacker, and to be honest, there might have been a third that we didn't see. Yeah. Because it's preseason for us too. I can't say that enough right now.
Yeah, it's a preseason for us broadcasters, and and it's hard for us sometimes, to get back into the swing of things.
Well, I will say my internet has improved significantly as we try and evade some of the cloudiness here on the monitor. As Kate Stevens slow to get up there after getting that punt return out to the 35-yard line. 36-yard line, excuse me. Just under 11 to play. Justin, what's been the most fun thing, and I do mean fun, about being the general manager of Las Vegas, of an SFL team where you hold, I don't want to say the fates of these players, but in a lot of ways, you're trying to build a team. You're trying to get the best players you can. Have you enjoyed that process?
Yeah, I've enjoyed that process, especially with Scott Fowle, the tight end. He's been doing a lot, putting up a lot of graphics in our locker room with our offensive and defensive starting lineups. It's like he's one of the awesomest tight ends you could have in a locker room like that for season 18.
Scott Fowler's been another guy who's made a name for himself in the Discord. And I've been very impressed with the notoriety that he is quite fairly brought to himself. We're seeing a little stop and start there from Jason Williams. That is carry number 15. Not as productive as he's been in the passing game, at least, but that puts him well over 150 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, great preseason game for him. Let's hopefully see if we can transfer it to the Monday night game, Monday afternoon game against Mexico City.
Reno over the middle. That is complete, and that's going to be a fresh set of downs for Fort Worth. And Reno, who has done an outstanding job, and I do mean outstanding, of getting all the receivers involved. Charlie Baker, the rookie, has a couple catches. Kate Stevens, I think, only has one catch. But Hacker and Twin Screw and Robert Garrett Jr., those guys are all getting their touches. And certainly Jason Williams out of the backfield getting some as well. And Reno has done a nice job. And he has faced some pressure tonight. Now going deep, and there's a catch. A huge catch down the middle of the field to Mike Twin Screw. Oh, yeah. You think he's going to love playing at Fort Worth this year?
Yeah, you think so. Leaving the swamps of Louisiana and coming here to where, as they say, everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's going to be bigger for Mike's Twin Screw.
Short drop for Reno on first down. Throw it to his left this time. And I think that is a catch from Hacker. Did get the 1 foot in bounds. Nice little gain of 5. That will stop the clock with 9 minutes and change remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And this is, and the preseason, getting close to the end of this game. Reno's throwing the ball perfectly, one interception, though, in this game. It's just, he's been doing well. It's like he's getting his reps in. He's getting shaking off the old rust he had before the SFLM season ended with Tacoma. So
there's Aaron Alexander with a catch and run there, and Alexander has a first down.
We got an.
I approve of him applauding for himself after that play. Tremendous catch, tremendous run, and took a little punishment on the end of it as well.
Yeah, finally got to see the fullback Aaron Alexander getting some yardage and a first down there. He's one of the great fullbacks. He's going to be one of the great fullbacks here in the SFL.
Absolutely, entering his second season. And Reno over the middle this time, and another catch that's going to put Fort Worth inside the 5. The Toros just chipping away, and there's Charlie Baker, who's been relatively quiet since a couple of catches early in the first half. And that's going to make it 2nd and goal, down to the Jacksonville 3. Justin, it's a little early to pick a player of the game, but who do you like so far?
Yeah, I think I would go with Williams for his amazing touchdown in the first half.
You can't go wrong with that at all. Williams trying to go up the middle there. And he is stopped. A host of Jacksonville defenders. John Martin in there among them. And now it's going to be 3rd and goal. We'd love to see Fort Worth try and punch this in. If only to preserve the precious leg of Amelia Rose, who's already kicked 3 field goals tonight. A short throw to Williams, and that is doomed. And that is going to be a huge loss. Forrest Dalton had that sniffed out for Jump Street. And we will see the rookie kicker, Amelia Rose, coming out for another chip shot.
Yeah. Forrest Dalton was a former outside linebacker. Now he comes, switches over to defensive tackle. That was just one of the things that, you see in the draft like that. You see a lineman go to defensive tackle like that.
It will be a 24-yard attempt for Rose, her 4th of the night. She made good on her first 3. Spot is down, kick is up. And that is money in the bank, 4 for 4. The rookie kicker out of Ottawa. And that's a 20-point game now for Fort Worth.
Yeah, 20-point game for Fort Worth. And it's just, right now, it's just coming up proverbial bulls on parade for Fort Worth.
One more time, let's go over the Saturday slate. As we mentioned, the regular season does start tomorrow, week 1 of season 18, kicking off at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, with London facing Baltimore at the newly minted Sports Gamers Online Stadium in Baltimore. Los Angeles at Charleston will be bonus coverage for that game. Then Arizona facing Tulsa. Douglas Brown, first overall rookie selection in the most recent draft, will make his SFL debut in that game. Sioux Falls facing Louisiana would be the bonus coverage for that matchup. And in the primetime slot, Vancouver going to Carolina. And St. Louis, as we said earlier, Justin, facing your Las Vegas Fury in the nightcap.
Yeah, that is some interesting games, and Carolina and Vancouver. Vancouver. You know how Andy Hamilton is with that offense of his.
Yes. And it was a bit of a surprise when they weren't kicking the snot out of everybody last season. A really modest effort for them, and that's not intended as disrespect. It was just a significant surprise for me when they were not the dominant force that we usually expect them to be, finishing 8-4 in the regular season. But I think there are a lot of teams, and this is the same with any league in any season, that are going to trend upward, and I think potentially surprise some people.
Yeah.
Dunhill handing off to Willis, and Willis is going to get to the sticks and get his team a fresh set of downs. Clock continues to run, under 6 minutes remaining here.
Yeah, this
and
game
I'm out of reads, so we're gonna sit and enjoy the silence. Justin, what do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the final preseason game of a SFL going into tomorrow's regular season. It should be interesting because there's been a lot of top 10s that a lot of the content creators have made, calling a lot of teams 12-0 and 0-12. It's just really just a mix up for me. Bonkers crazy.
It's ridiculous to expect to go 12-0 in a league that has been so competitive, and with teams that have so much volatility, not just in terms of personnel, but in changing their playbooks and other opponents changing their playbooks. And I don't know where that expectation comes from. And Vancouver, we're just talking about Vancouver, perfect example. The team that made a deep playoff run in season 16 and then staggered might be too strong a word. I mean, they had 8 wins, and I felt like they really had to earn those. And I don't really know why, is the other part of that as well. Because I don't feel like they struggled. I feel like Pepper had another outstanding season. But they were not the dominant force that we expected. I got looking at the numbers here for Pepper right now. 4,562 yards. That was first in the SFL. 36 touchdowns. That was second. 32 interceptions. Only one quarterback did better than that. 98.1 passer rating. I mean, what does this guy got to do?
Yeah, what does Tom Pepper have to do this season to improve?
Fort Worth back on offense. Jason Williams will start and stop. He's going to get a gain of 4 here. And once again, not exactly getting it done on the ground, but has been very impressive catching the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, very impressive for Williams to get balls and catching balls in the backfield and running them for 9-10 yards at a time for him.
Two tight end set now for the Toros. Only 4 defensive backs now for Jacksonville. They know what's coming. That's going to be a first down for Williams. And really, I think this is an opportunity, whether you're up by 20 or even up by 1 score late in the game, you have an opportunity to pound on a defense that has just been exhausted. You're obviously working very hard. It is preseason. Neither of these teams are necessarily in game shape. But now if you are a running back that has done the work over the preseason. This is your time to shine. This is your time to close out the game. Williams is the one getting close down there on that play.
Yeah, and Fort Worth's got to get back on the practice field probably tomorrow before Mexico City comes into town. So they got to get game ready for that too.
I hope they just do a little walkthrough and then take turns sitting in the cold tub. This has been an impressive effort for them. You see the passing numbers there. 96 through the air, 57 on the ground. And as you mentioned, has been the centerpiece of this Fort Worth offense tonight. With all due respect to Johnny Reno, has had a very impressive game as well. Williams up the middle this time. Maybe a couple. It's going to be 3rd and long as we reach the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, this is the last 2 minutes of what we call dress rehearsal before the real thing happens.
Fort Worth up big. We're going to put a bow on it in just a minute. Josh Zirkle, Justin Reside in the booth here for SFL preseason football. Stephen Hacker producing. And I would like to thank Stephen for his efforts in setting up this game. And giving me one more time in the booth with you, Justin. A little chance for us to get ready, get a little tune-up. And there's the first career rush. And with the preseason, anyway, we have Jay-Z Bacon, who's finally going to spell Williams. And Bacon's not going to get to the sticks, though. It's going to be 4th and 5.
Yeah, field goal time for Amelia Rose. But, this been a pretty good preseason game. And now you and me have to get ready to go to D.C. on Monday.
And boy, will my arms be tired. Amelia Rose from 44. She connected from this distance earlier in the evening. But cannot convert from that. From the right hash that time. No good. A little consolation to the Jacksonville team, who will take over on offense with 1:53 remaining.
Yeah, 1:53 remaining clock. It's just Jacksonville just want to run plays and maybe go to the end zone one more time.
And if you have been just joining us, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. And if you'd like to learn more about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. And we put the fan and fantasy at the SFL.
Yeah, and of course that website will have all the stats and all the players once week 1 concludes on Monday.
Fantastic draft recap. Schedule breakdown for week 1. And Dunhill with a nice catch over the middle there. Nice throw over the middle, excuse me. Kingston Ellington making the catch. And Jacksonville will hurry up as we are setting to turn out the lights here in Fort Worth. Justin, anything else you're looking forward to this season? Not necessarily with your team, but just in the league in general. I personally am excited to see that the league has grown. We've seen rosters expand to 23 players from 20. We've had some fatigue changes to the engine I'm looking forward to seeing. And really just the community growing. And I'm excited to see what that looks like on the field this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what teams will make the playoffs by the time season 18 ends, because it could be different playoff teams than season 17 with the 12 teams who made the playoffs.
And of course, the first 4 teams with the best records will get buys in the postseason, leaving it to the 5 through 12 seeds to duke it out in the first round. And then we reseed, just like the boys on Sunday do it. Dunhill, not done yet. Still throwing the dragon down, chucking it downfield. That one intended for Shay Carroll. And it's going to be another 4th down. I'd be curious to see if Jacksonville goes for it here. Why not? It's preseason, right?
Yeah, it's preseason. Why not unleash one more dragon for the heck of it?
We'll go over the Monday slate one more time. Florida's going to face San Diego at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Houston at DC at 1:05 Eastern. That's going to be on Twitch. The SFL Twitch, that is. And that's just twitch.tv/simulationfl. Justin and I will be calling that game. These Jacksonville Kings will be heading to San Diego. That game will be on Next Level Sports at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta, another strong perennial contender in the SFL, will be facing the Denver Nightwings, who spent most of season 17 retooling after their season 16 championship. That game will be at 4 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. Bacon up the middle, nothing doing. We're going to see a timeout. Mexico City will be in this stadium just a few nights from now to face Fort Worth. That it will be at 6 p.m. Eastern on SFL Twitch. And then Queen City, almost the darlings of season 17. They'll be heading to Texas to face Lone Star. That'll be at 6:20 p.m. on the SFL's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Bacon in the backfield by himself on the draw. Little spin move there. It looked like he had green grass in front of him. Was trying to make a highlight reel, and now Jacksonville down 20 with 1:13 to play is going to burn their last timeout.
Yeah, it's just one more time. Fort Worth Trust trying to get ready. Now I have to get ready for Mexico City on Monday. And Jacksonville has to get back on the plane to get ready for Portland and then fly to Portland on probably Sunday evening to be there on Monday.
3 wideouts on the field for Fort Worth. Bacon is going to get hit behind the line. And that is J.R. Lawless, starting his second season. The season 15 All-Star was not on a roster at the end of last season, Justin.
Yeah, that was a surprise. J.R. Lawless, this is my first time seeing him be on the field for Jacksonville.
And now Ray Einhorn will punt it away with less than 40 seconds here. And Jacksonville put a bow on it for us. We're so glad you took into preseason football with us. Again, the real deal starts tomorrow. We are so pumped to get season 18 going here. London at Baltimore. And I said last season, and I meant it, that if Johnny Pickler got London to the playoffs, that he was the season MVP. With all due respect to Jack Wilmore, with all due respect to that tremendous Baltimore team, I just think the transformation that he spearheaded in London was even more significant than that. That's just my opinion. And I'm excited to see those two teams go at it again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that game too. That is the week 12 rematch from season 17 now kicking off season 18. That's just, that's the game you want to see.
A little bit of poetry there from the scheduling gods. A little bit of rhythm and verse. 4 wideouts for Jacksonville. 6 DBs on the field for Fort Worth. Short drop by Dunhill. And that's going to be complete. And why not? Jacksonville's going to hurry it up. Out of timeouts. As soon as Marcus Dunhill is done jogging to the line, they'll spike it with 7 seconds left. Yeah. My thanks again to Stephen Hacker, producing tonight's game. Stephen, you are a beautiful force in this league and also for the Fort Worth franchise. And I'm proud to call you a friend. This might be the last play of the game. Dunhill going to the right side, deflected. Very impressive play there by Aiden Davis. Getting ready to start his 6th year of SFL football, his 4th with Fort Worth, with just 3 seconds left.
I think we'll see just Dunhill just throwing the old Hail Mary pass and see what happens.
Dunhill out of the shotgun this time. These Hail Marys don't always work out well for the offense. Dunhill will take a shot at it, and that is complete. Very impressive effort, and that's going to be all she wrote. Fort Worth coming out on top here in an exhibition on the eve of the season 18 kickoff. Final score 33-13. Justin, your thoughts on the game?
This was a really good game for Fort Worth to get ready for Mexico City, because you want one more preseason game like this one to get ready for your week 1 opponent, and this was a perfect way to have Fort Worth go into the regular season on Monday to play Mexico City right here at the Stockyards.
Very impressive outing by Johnny Reno. 380 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdown passes on the evening. Dunhill 286 and 1 touchdown. And Jason Williams, who I'm going to have to agree with you to an extent, had a player of the game type performance, as you see right there, over 150 yards from scrimmage, and had the 1 receiving touchdown. But I think Johnny Reno, the 2nd overall pick, really turned some heads in his performance here tonight.
Yeah, he really turned, he made all the SFL owners look twice before you play Fort Worth, because once you play Fort Worth and Johnny Reno, that's the team you have to face, because you're not facing the old Fort Worth of season 17. You're facing this season 18 version of the Fort Worth Toros.
And very impressive. Some of the offensive issues that we saw from Fort Worth last season, just nowhere in sight. A lot of times that was an offense that struggled to get the ball to its wide receivers. And I don't think it was the quarterback necessarily. I don't know what exactly it was, but Johnny Reno certainly seems to be the answer here. And he is your player of the game for the night. 380 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 132.3 passer rating, and a partridge in a pear tree. Justin, I've really enjoyed it. Good luck to you and the Las Vegas Furies this season, and I will see you on Monday night.
I will see you on Monday night there, Josh. I'll see you in D.C., my friend.
For Justin Reeside, for Stephen Hacker, my name is Josh Zirkle. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll see you on the internet. Your final score from Fort Worth, Toros win 33-13.